Welcome everybody to the Falcon one-shot. On the agenda, Aviary Attorney. How fitting, right, for the Birdman over here to be checking out a game entitled Aviary Attorney. But what I found this to be is actually an amazing little, like, Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright type of game. You are essentially a bird detective slash lawyer trying to gather up, evidence to kind of either prove or disprove a certain case that you have to kind of undertake over here. Let me go into skip forward here. January 1st, 1848. The Chateau Criniere of something that I probably missed right there, because I'm hitting skip over here. Is that Monsieur Grenway? Oh, mon Dieu! Dame Catherine, what have you done? Act 1, a cat with claws.
It's midday already. Where on earth is that featherhead? Well. Look who finally decided to get up. Haven't you heard what they say about the early bird falcon?
Ugh. Too early for worms. Past the Cabernet Sauvignon.
There'll be time for that later. We got some business to handle first.
Business?
A letter arrived while you were sleeping. I haven't opened it yet.
It's probably just more junk mail. Go ahead, Sparrowson. You may have the honors.
All right. Dear Monsieur Falcon, I'm writing to you today because my daughter, Dame Catherine, has been arrested for a crime she did not commit. She's being held at La Concierge prison on the charge of murder, no less. Her trial is in 3 days' time. I'd be greatly in your debt if you would offer her your legal aid. Yours sincerely, Signor Portua Demio of the Demio Estate. I'm going to probably mispronounce a bunch of these words too, so I apologize. I'm trying to do my best to hear that I can.
Well, this is quite something.
I know, your first serious client in months.
Not just that, the Demio Estate is well known for its exuberant wealth.
Even if we cannot do much for the Dame Catherine, his lordship would still reward us handsomely for our efforts. Wow, so I suppose you intend on defending Dame Catherine in court?
Of course we are.
Of course, it would be foolish to let such a good opportunity slip through our feathers. Grab your coat, Sparrowson. We're going to go find our kitty client at La Concierge. Excellent! My derriere was getting tired from all this sitting around. Oh, but I better file away Signor Domio's letter first. One moment, Falcon.
Porter's letter has been added to your evidence folder. You may access the evidence folder at any time by clicking the suitcase symbol.
Ah, nearly forgot my wallet. I wouldn't want to lose that. Again, I recall you losing at New Year's party, and at Christmas.
Yes, all right, no need to make a list. Falcon has picked up his wallet. You may see how much money he is carrying at any time by clicking on the wallet symbol.
Let's make a move.
Alrighty. So over here in the world map, you will essentially be able to move from one location to the other one to either go and question people, browse the location for evidence, any other items you may be able to find. Some of them will actually take up the entire day, while some of them will actually just be like a free move where you could actually check a lot of these locations out. Without necessarily progressing the day forward, because you are kind of a bit in a time system here. You might have to acquire enough evidence or enough clues before a trial date comes up about. And the game will probably explain this for you over here, but I'm going to try to, just skip ahead here a little bit and just do most of that for us here. So right now we want to go over to the La Concierge, whatever, dog. We want to go over here and we'll talk to Dame Catherine, who's being, charged with murder over here. Falcon and Sparrowson step into the stone-cold foyer of the Concierge prison. Sullen-faced guards and visitors linger beneath the medieval archways.
Ah, the Concierge. They say this is the finest prison in the whole of France. The outer walls are impenetrable, the cells are spotless, the guards are well-mannered.
What do you want? Oh, I love it. The art style is just really great, like the whole hand-drawn perspective. It's just a really, really fun, beautiful game. The dialogue, let me tell you, is actually quite good and comical in the good sense here as well.
Good day, monsieur. I'm here to see Dame Catherine Demio. I am due to represent her in court.
Oh, you're her lawyer, huh? Fine. Follow me.
Well, what are you waiting for? Keep up.
Well-mannered, they said, huh? And here is Catherine.
My papa hasn't forgotten about me, has he?
Dame Catherine Demio, I presume.
You've arrived! The fantastic lawyer Monsieur Falcon and his petite assistant Sparrowson.
Milady is knowledgeable. Don't talk like that, Sparrowson. Sorry.
My papa told me that he would only hire the best lawyers in town.
I'm flattered.
But they weren't available at such short notice, so he hired the first people in the address directory.
Oh.
You see, Falcon? I told you listing under Aviary Attorney would pay off.
Let's get down to business. Dame Cataline, could you fill us in on some of the details? Your father's letter was a little brief.
I can do my best. What is it you wanted to know?
So here you get to ask a few questions to kind of give you actual written information, which you could then use in the trial portion of the game itself to be like, hey, objection, this is what so-and-so supposedly happened. You could also use it for cross-examination as well. So let's find out what happened on the night of the murder here first and foremost. What exactly happened on the night of the murder?
Let me think. It was Friday evening. Me and my papa had arrived at Chateau Crinier, the home of Great Baron Rogiel. My papa spent all evening talking with Monsieur Grenway and the Baron about business stuff.
Business stuff?
Well, the three of them own a railway company together. So all through dinner they were talking about company shares and investments, but I didn't really understand most of it. But after dinner, this man with a camera took our photograph. That was a lot more fun.
Sorry, man with a what took your what?
Camera. It's a very new gadget. A tiny bug sits in the box with a tiny paintbrush and paints your picture very fast. In 10 minutes, poof, you have a perfect picture. Wow, technology is amazing.
I don't think the lady's explanation is right, Sparrowson.
Psh, let me believe.
Still, the camera sounds like a very special device. I'll make note of it. Camera has been added to your evidence folder. Please continue, Dame Cataline.
So after we had the photograph, I went into the gardens to get some air, and that's when I found the body of Monsieur Grenway. He was all ripped open. A housemaid we saw standing over the froggy Monsieur and called for help, and then the police arrived. Before I could say anything, I ended up here. It was such a blur.
It must have been terrifying.
It wasn't so bad. My papa taught me how to be a brave cat. Was there something else you wanted to ask, Monsieur Falcon?
Let's see. I guess we should find out who was there that evening as well. Dame Cataline, who attended the banquet that evening?
Well, there was me and my papa. My dearest Maman couldn't make it. And there was Baron Rogiel, who hosted the dinner, and his housemaid, Colling, I think she was called. Of course, there was Monsieur Grenway, well, until, he died. And there was Monsieur Robitio de Robinio, the man with the camera, but he was only there for a little while. I think that was all. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Did you see anything suspicious? Dame Cataline, did you see anything suspicious that evening?
Suspicious?
Like, maybe a guy lurking in the shadows or a bloody murder weapon?
Monsieur Falcon, I do believe you are looking for an easy answer.
You got me.
I did not see anything, I am afraid. The evening was very normal, the food was delicious, the conversation was boring. It was all very ordinary until the incident.
I see.
Wait, Falcon, you missed something of huge importance.
I did?
Dame Cataline, you said the food was delicious.
But you didn't say what food it was. You and your damn stomach.
Let me see. We had poached red herring to start, garnished with garlic butter.
Go on.
Then a marbled steak, served perfect bloody rare.
Glorious! Falcon, write this down!
What? This can't possibly be relevant to the case.
Write it all down, please.
For me.
Fine. Red herring has been added to your evidence folder. Bloody rare steak has been added to your evidence folder. Sparrowson, remind me not to let you talk to clients on an empty stomach.
Come to think of it, I did find it a little strange that we weren't giving any cutlery.
No cutlery? Even for the steak?
Nope. You would think that the great Baron of Chateau Crinier would have gorgeous silverware, but there was none to be seen.
That is a little peculiar.
Was there anything else you wanted to know, Monsieur Falcon?
No, I think that would be all.
So what's the plan now, Falcon?
The way I see it, we have two tasks. We should head to Chateau Crinier and try to get the scene of the murder for ourselves.
And we should try to track down the supposed photographer, Monsieur Rubicchio de Robinio. 2 days for 2 tasks? Seems doable. But we should head back and get some... Excuse me? But we should head back. Okay. That's a bit awkward there. But we should head back and get some rest first, is probably what that should have really said. We have a lot of work ahead of us. Wait, Monsieur Falcon, before you go. You do believe my story, don't you? Dame Cataline, I believe that the fair trial can draw the truth from any situation. I believe in justice. That's good to hear. You're not wrong, Falcon, but that's not what the lady wants to hear. You might want to work on being less of a, how to put it, fils de pute. If serving justice makes me a fils de pute, then I'll wear that title proudly. Dame Cataline, Monsieur Granway, Baron Rorgio, these names are all getting a bit confusing, aren't they? Not particularly. Well, it is for me. I'm going to start compiling a Facebook so that I can keep track of who everyone is. A what? A Facebook. It's a collection of people's names, pictures, and descriptions in one easy-to-carry catalog. I think I understand. The name could use a little work, though. Now we have added the Facebook. There's also a Twitter reference at some point, and it's done in a very bird-like, comical, slightly groan-inducing fashion, but again, it just works out so well. The dialogue in this game is actually quite really well done. You can access a list of people you have met any time by clicking the book symbol. Let's make a move. Alrighty, and over here we're basically going to a new day, and we have a few options to check out now, which is to get some information from the photographer, and also from the actual crime scene itself. Now, what I would like to do here is, because there's a lot to still cover before we get to the case itself, and I would like to show off the actual cross-examination portion of the game here. So let me see if I could just go into quitting without saving, perhaps. And if we load into a previous day, I would like to get into the case area if we could. This is a trial right here, so let's see if this loads up properly, and if it does, then we should be fine. And more than likely, it'll have all the evidence that I collected ahead of time, or at least in my off-camera play over here. Alright guys, so we're going to be actually going into the trial itself now, so I could show off some of the cross-examination, how it kind of works out. Unfortunately, we did skip over the portion where we'd have to go and acquire evidence and actually ask questions to other possible witnesses, and other people that were probably involved in the scene of the crime, essentially. But, you know, it's a lot of dialogue in this game, so unfortunately I would like to cover some of the most important parts of it, and I guess the trial period is going to be like a really, really big important part. So let's actually go forward here. I'm going to skip some of the dialogue here as well, but for the most part what's happening is that this is going to be the prosecutor. He's going to be calling in his witnesses, or any person that was there at the crime, and we're going to have a chance to cross-examine them and actually see if we could poke any holes in their comments, their sentences, their theories, etc., etc. So, I'm pretty sure he starts off with the police officer. This is the arresting officer who took Madame or Dame Cataline into custody itself. And what he's going to do, he's going to go ahead and give us a recounting of what happened that day. And you have to kind of pay close attention to it, much like an Ace Attorney type of game, and find out what he says, if that kind of coincides with the information and evidence that you've picked up beforehand. And if it doesn't, that is when you actually go ahead and be like, hey, objection, can you tell me how this happened? And if so, this is the reason why you're wrong, because I have so-and-so evidence to show that, hey, you know what, you're incorrect here, my friend. So, let's actually go here a bit forward. She was standing over the corpse of Monsieur Grenway with his blood on her paws. Well, that sounds like an open and shut case in my humble opinion. No more questions, Your Honor. Bloodied paws. Nobody told me that detail. Keep it together, Falcon. You're about to be given the opportunity to cross-examine the witness. That's your opportunity to find flaws in the inspector's testimony. Of course, I know this. You may begin your cross-examination, Monsieur Falcon. Alrighty, and this screen over here is going to essentially bring you up with the testimony that the witness just gave out. Everything that's underlined is what you can actually bring up and question, assuming you have the proper bit of evidence or any other detail to bring up any doubt in that statement. If you don't have the proper evidence or the proper item to bring up doubt, don't bring it up, because then the jury is going to lose favor towards you. So you want to make sure that if you're going to question something on the testimony, you actually have the proper evidence to back it up with, so you can actually gain favor and hopefully bring a ruling in your favor. So right now, since I've already done this before, we're going to go with blood on her paws.
Now, we'll skip this here a little bit, and we will be able to ask, like, whose blood was it? Or anything else that you want here. Now, unfortunately, since we haven't gone through the entire thing, we did note some of the... Remember how they mentioned back when they were in jail that they had a rare steak, but there was no cutlery involved? If you follow suit with asking questions to the witnesses, you will find out the reason there was no cutlery is because the maid was actually stealing the cutlery from her place of employment. So what that means is that they actually ate the meat, the bloody meat, the steak, with their paws. So the blood on her hands, you can now bring up doubt that it's like, well, you did find her with blood on her hands, but they actually did have the steak without cutlery. So that's the reason why there's blood on her hands, and the jury will be like, well, I guess that's true. We can't really say for a fact whether that's the frog's blood or just the blood from the steak itself. So it's going to be up to you to bring it up. So for instance, right now, I will be asked, like, do I have any sort of, evidence to back this up? And that is when you actually go into your own evidence little locker over here. And I'll be like, okay, well, they had bloody rare steak at the banquet. So this is where the blood came from, is what I'm now assessing out here. They ate a bloody rare steak. Is this true, Monsieur Rabington? Ah, well, in a manner of speaking, I suppose steak may have been, on the menu. Then, Inspector, would you acknowledge the possibility that the blood on the lady's paws did not belong to the victim, but to the steak? Well... Wait, don't answer that, Inspector. It is a possibility. No! Intriguing. Pretty convincing. You gained a little favor with the jury. And that's essentially what you want to do. You want to continue poking holes into the testimony of the witnesses when you do some cross-examination yourself to just bring up enough doubt. Alrighty, guys, and we're going to wrap it up here for today. Again, very story-heavy oriented game, and everything's going to be based on your decisions, whether you poke holes in the right theories or not. You could either get her a guilty verdict or not as well, and that's going to actually change based on the type of evidence you decide to bring up. And I also will tell you this much right now, there is a bit of a twist as well, but I don't want to spoil it for you what that might be, in case you want to check it out for yourself. Description below should have a link to the store page. Really fun game, Aviary Attorney. I will catch you next time.